Hey everybody. So it's got to be pretty close to 900 degrees in this greenhouse. Um, Obviously it's not 900 degrees, but man, it's got to be close to 120, 118, 115. So anyway, I have a really cool little tree here. I did a video on this a while ago. I'm thinking it's been close to a year. I think it's been close to a year ago. It was a cutting that I put into this pot as a cutting. I had a couple of leaves on it, or a couple of roots on it. It was about this big, really small. It was about this big around, super small cutting. After a year in this small pot, so it is definitely root bound. I got giant roots all the way out to the edge of the pot on all sides. This was not wired in, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out of the pot. I'm gonna repot it, and I'm gonna look at what the roots look like after about a year from a cutting. So this is a year's worth of established roots. I just watered everything, so it's going to drip some water out of the rootstock, which is okay. So that's what the roots look like after a year. It's like solid. That's a root right here, this whole spot right here. So I am going to go ahead and see if I can get the screen out of here, and then we are going to, I am going to completely bare root this tree so that we can look at the root structure of it. This tree is really, it's healthy enough. It's not super healthy right this minute because of the sprinkler system. If you watched, I think my last video, I talked about that. So yeah, let's get to it. I'm gonna grab my metal chopstick. I thought I had one out here, but I got another one. So let's go ahead and take all of the soil out of here. And this is actually going to help with the health of the tree as well, because like I said, the sprinkler system's had some issues. It's underwatered and overwatered, and so I need to replace the timer on it again. Timer I got, I won't say the name of it because I am not impressed with it. It wasn't expensive, so I guess that's kind of my fault. Getting a cheaper timer that I'm using pretty much every day. So I'm gonna go ahead and spend the money and get a better timer next time. So I've told you this before, it's a lot easier to get the soil out when the tree is dry. But this time of year, I'm not letting my trees dry out long enough to let the soil dry out so I can just take it off the tree anyway. So I think it's better to have moist soil when I'm doing this type of work on it. All right, so that's all the soil that was in here now because of all the roots. That's pretty much all roots now. There's a little bit of soil in here in a couple of places, but yeah, this is pretty much roots. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go out and I'm going to hose this out with the garden hose, get all the soil out of here so we can get a good look at it. Okay, so I got all the roots washed off. I got a couple of really long roots sticking out here, but most of these roots are really nice and compact, which is awesome. I think that, honestly, I think that they look really good, most of them. A couple of them are crossing over each other, so I'm going to go ahead and take those out. Don't want any roots that are crossing because they will strangle the root that they're crossing over. Move the new pot out of the way. So if you see the underside, it's got some pretty decent roots. I like it. I'm going to cut the really long one back. Just like that. But these roots look really healthy. They look really strong. A super thick root here. Kind of thinking I might want to get rid of this. I think I might want to get rid of that one. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of this one. So I've told you guys before on these ficus benjamina that these roots are a lot like consistency of a potato. So really you can just bend them and they'll break off the really thick roots. And I don't know if these grow a new tree from the roots. I have tried and had no success, so I don't know if they do or not, but I know some of the ficus trees do. Knob cutter out, clean it up a little bit. There you go. So that looks a lot better. Yeah, that's a lot better because it's got a really gnarly root right here too. So these trees grow really crazy roots. So I decided that I was going to upgrade the pot. Yes, this pot is a lot bigger. So I have a lot of questions from people that I meet at the market and people that I'm selling my trees to. That the question is, how, you know, when do I repot? When do I put it into a bigger pot? When do I, you know, can I keep it in this pot? All those kind of questions, right? So my answer usually is you can keep it in pretty much any pot until it just absolutely doesn't fit anymore. The other pot, I could have just taken it out of that pot and cleaned it up, did the root pruning that I did, and I could have put it right back into that pot, which I put way back over on the shelf, so I'm not going to go grab it. But anyway, I could have put it right back into that pot, but I want this tree to get bigger, so I'm going to put it into a bigger pot. So if you want your tree to get a lot bigger faster, put it in a much bigger pot. And if you're going to do a bonsai pot, you can put it in a really large bonsai pot and let it grow into it. You know, then you don't have to repot it as quickly, and the tree's going to grow faster. So I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. And I do need to go over here to get my scoop. So all right, so basically the answer to the question is you can put it pretty much any size pot you want that the tree's going to fit in. I mean, I don't think that I would go smaller than this. I really wouldn't go smaller than the pot that I had it in, because that pot was a good size for the tree. But I do want this tree to get bigger, so I'm going bigger with the pot now. Yeah, so you guys know, this is summertime right now here in Florida where I'm at. So I'm going to be really careful to make sure that I keep this tree very well watered after I repot this. I'm going to put it back outside on the bench because it'll do just fine like that. These trees do really well in hot weather. They're a tropical tree. And being Florida, it's really humid, so it's going to do really well going back outside. If you have this tree inside, I would just recommend that you keep an eye on it, and you might have to water it a little bit more frequently now that it's been repotted. But honestly, I haven't taken away much of the root system, or really not much at all. So honestly, this tree might not show any signs of it being repotted, except the fact that it's going to start growing. And it's going to start growing bigger relatively quickly even. So I'm kind of doing this because I want to raise the roots above the surface of the pot, because I like seeing the roots on these trees. But I want the roots like nice and nestled into the soil as well. Alright, so we're going to chopstick this in, make sure we get soil back into all the void spaces that I cleaned out by washing the roots out. Easiest way to do that is to find a kind of an opening in the roots and just pack it in there. And when I was wiggling the tree down into the soil, that also got a lot of the roots filled back up with soil, the under roots. All right, that looks a lot better. So this tree is going to really start growing relatively quickly now, because I repotted it like this. It should grow pretty quick. So I'm going to go ahead and go through and cut off all the little dead branches that it's got from the underwatering that it got for a couple of days. These trees don't like being underwatered. They can deal a lot better with being overwatered than underwatered. But I think in one of my last videos I showed you the cherry tree, how if it's being overwatered, you can see with the leaves, and you can see how it's yellow and then green. So that means that this one was being overwatered for a while as well. And they'll just start getting yellow leaves and dropping them, and then just turn down the water frequency or duration for a little while, and you should be good. This branch out. I'm gonna try and open up some of the space in here. I think I might top some of these branches off. Except I don't want to take off a whole lot of leaves right now, because it doesn't have a whole lot of leaves right now. But I do want to reduce the height of this a little bit. There we go. That'll do it. I just wanted to do kind of a quick video for you guys, give you an update on the tree from a cutting. I don't remember the title of the video. I'll just have to put it in the description of this video. So anyway, appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see you on the next one.